I'm not just generally happy. If I'm generally anything, I guess I'm generally miserable.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of me having an existential crisis, but this time on YouTube. So if you've been on my channel, you might have noticed that I attempted to create a bullet journal. Let's go back in time to see that. And I started to get really fixated into one of the spreads that I made on my 2020 setup, which is the My Dream Life, in which I separated all of the different areas of my life and tried to envision what the dream me would do. After a lot of thinking, I just realized that the bullet journal system can be very focused on the present. So I just decided to reevaluate the whole thing and to go into a system that's going to allow me to focus a lot more into finding that higher purpose. For the first part of this experiment, we're kind of like going back again to that 2020 system. So obviously your dreamline is a very broad statement. So the way to break it down is to establish some intentions, then set your goals, and then adopt actions that are gonna bring that into your daily habits or your daily life. So an intention would be understood as something very general. For example, in my intellectual area, my general intention might be something like, I never want to stop learning. But then I have to break it down into more specific. What is it that I want to learn? And which is when the goals would come. And the goals are still on the kind of general territory. So one specific goal can be something like, I want to read a lot more. The dream me reads a lot more than I am doing right now. And then the specific action would be like, okay, then I want to read at least one book a month. Now, it's been 6 months since I established all of that, and here's when it comes part 2, which is the evaluating my progress. You saw that I had all of this habit trackers and thing on my bullet journal, but I was being pretty liberal with them. And I think in a way it was great because it did motivate me to do a little bit more than I would have done otherwise, but it's still a very realistic look at my priorities and at my balance. The challenge here is to go back to those trackers and look at the areas in which I'm clearly lacking and try to establish a new system that's gonna be a lot more balanced. So for example, I can look at my daily drawing, which was one of my goals, and realize that maybe it's a little bit unrealistic for me to expect to draw or to play the piano every single day. But I did notice that just having written that down and having that physical evidence of what I wanted in my life really helped me to get into motion and just do more than I would have done otherwise. So for example, here you're seeing footage from my video diaries, which kind of like supplies to the higher intention that I had in my life, is that I wanted to live a creative, intentional life and be able to remember my life and document it in a way that transmits those memories back to me. So I definitely did more, but I feel like it wasn't there. Which brings us to part number 3. So what I wanted to get to is that I decided to give digital planning a go. So I've seen a lot of these templates online that are kind of a simplified version of a monthly log, a weekly log, a daily log, and I wanted to construct a new template that would just surround its functionality all around that first 2020 setup that was dedicated to my dream life. So I played a lot with the design because I'm very indecisive, and I wanted to make sure that it was something that would cheer me up and that would just transmit sort of like motivation and happiness. So I wanted it to look very pretty, but at the same time I wanted to keep it very simple, because one thing about the bullet journal is that obviously you can get really caught up into the decoration and the time that it takes to do it, and the fact that this is so forgiving with mistake and easy to approach is honestly what I think that I need right now. I kind of wrote down a little affirmations for the day, so things that I want to say to myself, you know, those kind of like corny, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am gonna have a good day, things like that. I've always thought that was super corny, but lately I've just been feeling very discouraged, and you know, if it works, it works. And I do think that the things that we say to ourselves are very powerful. So doing whatever I can to change the message from I'm scared, I'm anxious, I don't know what I'm doing, into positive affirmations. I feel like they can have a very strong impact in what I do. So I established my monthly goal, weekly log, and daily log, following the same principle of the intentions, goals, and actions, so from general to specific. So in my monthly goal, I have some free space that's very customizable so that I can just write down the general goals and the general intentions that I have for each area. So I have one area, like one space for each area, physical, social, whatever, but I don't have it written down, so that again is very customizable and I can just do it according to my necessities. And then I started up with a weekly log, which is a lot more regular, I guess, and I just have like a breakdown of the days of the week so that I can just have a quick look at all of the things that I have to do. And then that rectangle on the side that's in color is for the pending, so things that I have to remember that I'm not specifically time constricted and they don't have a day assigned to them. And I made 4 of them so that I can have one for each week. For my daily log, I decided to be very specific and assign myself a little action that will build up in each and every single area. So for example, going back to the example of the book, in the monthly log I have written down that I want to read one specific book, and if that book is 300 pages, that means that I roughly have to read 10 pages a day. So that is one task that goes into the intellectual part of the daily log. So I'm just hoping that that works. And then just to be a little bit extra and have a little fun, and again, I think visual cues are very important. Having something that physically reminds you of those intangible goals and ideas in your head can be very powerful. So I'm just planning to use this as my screensaver and things like that. So I have it really present when I'm about to do my planner and all that. And yeah, so this is just the final flip through. I'm gonna leave the template down in case anyone can find it useful. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, you can like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. You already know what to do because you probably spend too much time on YouTube anyway. Check your screen time. Bye. See you in another video.